hospital for a psych evaluation. He called it a certain code similar to a
Hello, it's
5150
me, Vicky
where he
Bree.
gets held.
So I'm just showing you JLR's live stream. I've just done a video of the press conference about Charlotte. Anyway.
Because of a mental issue. But right now, authorities are searching the trailer belonging to Craig Ross on Barrett Road. The entire both sides of Barrett Road is shut down, and authorities are searching there. And they're searching there for evidence not only with this particular case, but it's been known that they're also searching for maybe he's involved with other things that we don't know about. Other cases, unsolved cases. Is Craig Ross involved with unsolved cases? But it's like pretty, there's a car out here. There's my car. There's my vehicle here. Let me just show you. My vehicle here. And then there's another car here. And then there's law enforcement, and here. But I can tell you, once you get past this light here, I'll just show you what it looks like in the dark here. Boom. It's like pitch black out here. You can't see a thing. Now, the campground, I don't know if they're going to open up the campground tomorrow. I don't know. If they do, if they open it up in the next couple of days, and I plan to be covering this case because I want to go to this guy's court hearing and I want to get some more information. I was out here planning on covering the search. So it's a good thing that they actually found her. They found her a little before 7 p.m. I'm reading you guys' comments. But he could be having court. So I like to see the perp walk too, right? You know, the perp walk that they normally do. Thanks for coming in, everyone. I see my mod is in the house. Yeah, great job, police, law enforcement. We thank our law enforcement and everyone that worked around the clock to solve this case. Well, we want to know what happened. What's up? And then, what's up with this ransom? The guy went to their house at like 4 a.m. yesterday. And like literally drove there and put a ransom note in their mailbox. Like, who does that? Something's not right with that. And this dude, like, and then who is this guy? Who is Craig Ross Jr.? Now, he's not a registered SO. That's what the police said at the press conference. I believe he really doesn't have an extensive criminal record except like a DWI long time ago. But other than that, like, I don't know. I mean, that's how they got a fingerprint from the ransom note. But who would just come to a place like this, a dark place? And I'm at a dark place, and I'm going to come back here at the light to show you this whole area and this road, even at the light. But who would come to this dark place, this whole remote park, and just snatch a total stranger, an innocent girl? Who would do that? I mean, that's pretty like wild and insane that somebody would do that. Look at the trees. It's just nothing. It's nothing but forest out here. Nothing but forest out here. Yeah, late night tonight. But we're gonna get more information. As soon as they open up this street too, I'm gonna go to this dude's house, outside his house. Not gonna go to his actual house, but go outside the house and see what's up. And I'm gonna be hanging around a little bit at the state police barracks where other media is at. They spoke tonight. They were talking about a press conference tomorrow. But I'm not so sure if they're actually going to give a press conference tomorrow. But why did this even happen? And it's just a miracle. Literally, we're going to call her the miracle. We're going to call her the miracle baby, the miracle child. right? But see how quiet it is out here? It's so quiet. Has any of you guys ever been to this park before? I'm gonna go. If they open it, I'm going in. Yeah, double wide trailer. His mom. It's a trailer. It's a property. Oh, by the way, the property. I'm not so sure I can go live from that location because the Crystal. Thank you. Because the location has like no cell phone service out there. So this one might be a tough one in reference to his house. I mean, it's so cool that they actually have it out here because it's remote out here in this area too. But what kind of stranger, a 47-year-old man, who would just like kidnap an innocent 9-year-old child? Why would that happen? And how did that happen? Who would do such a thing? So we're gonna try to figure this out. Maybe the suspect's family speaks. Maybe he lived with his mom. Maybe somebody in his mom gives a statement. That's a possibility too. The JLR boots on the ground. I've been out here for a little bit. I was gonna watch the search, but there is no more search. But we're gonna try to get some answers tomorrow at first light. So stay tuned for that. Been up now for almost 24 hours. So might get a little bit of sleep, but I think they're going to bring this guy out of the barracks and take him maybe to a court too, somewhere, a district court, a magistrate court, one of these courts. I think they're going to take him to court. So I'm going to try to find some information out. And if you have any information, on his whereabouts, where he's currently at when he goes to court, or something you want to talk about, shoot me an email at JLR Investigates. When I'm out in the scene, it's upper 40s, a lot different than it is in Florida. So upper 40s, out in the field. I'll be back in a bit. I'll be back in a few hours. So we'll talk soon. All right. See you soon, people. Have a great night.
Hi. So JLR is there, and so I know we'll get some very interesting. Hi, Irish Eyes. We'll get some very interesting observations from him. We'll get some very interesting footage of the scene. Now, I've just released a video on the press conference, as some of you are making some comments in there. Doesn't have any preview. According to the press conference, to what the governor said at the press conference, he's 47 years old. He lives in a trailer, or like a home at the back of his mum's trailer. You can watch that video. I've just put the video up with the press conference that the governor gave this morning with all the details. He has no previous, except for drinking under the influence. That's where they got his fingerprint from. That's how they matched his fingerprint. Hi, David. They matched his fingerprint because he had a DUI, a drinking under the influence, where they automatically take your fingerprints. And I think this guy, he's maybe, well, she's been found, Irish Eyes, if you probably slept through the night, like me, that was yeah, she was found. She's found. Let me just explain then quickly what's happened. She was found. Right. So this is what was said at the press conference. That the police were watching the parents' house. Now, this guy, he must know the parents, because how did he know where they lived? And he took, he posted a letter in their post box as the police were watching, but it all happened very quick, they said, because I was thinking, well, why didn't they just apprehend him there in that moment? Anyway, the police were watching. They were probably falling asleep. I don't know. They might have been sat there. And this guy turned up about 4 o'clock in the morning, early hours of the morning, posted something through the post box and was gone. So they got the letter from the post box, and it was a ransom note, but it had a fingerprint on it. So this guy is not very forensically aware, is he? I mean, even I know that you can leave fingerprints on a letter. You know, you don't. So he's not criminal number one. You know, he doesn't seem very forensically aware. And he posted this letter through the letterbox, a ransom letter. The police went and got the letter immediately, matched it to a fingerprint from someone who'd been caught for a DUI for drinking under the influence. And off they went to where he lived, and SWAT teams, you know, they went sort of mob-handed like to where he lived. Yeah, thank God he's an idiot. He is definitely an idiot. I mean, we'll say an idiot. You know, may have some, you know, problems, mental problems. He obviously has. But I think he must know the parents, because how would he know where to? He knew the parents were at the campsite. Parents were still at the campsite with their other two children. He knew they weren't at home, but he knew where they lived. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? He must know them. Hi, Renee. He must know that family. There's something. Anyway, he doesn't live on the campsite. He lives outside the campsite. They went to where he lives, which is in like a home behind his mother's home, like a trailer type homes. Well, I don't know the exact details of what the homes are. They did mention they seem to be a certain type of home that's quite well known, but in America anyway. But so they went to his mother's house, and they then broke into his, I suppose, like a mobile home or that type of thing, where he was living behind his mother's house. Broke in. He sustained some injuries, they said, because he did resist arrest. But you can look at the video later about with the press conference and actually see the governor saying it for yourself. They said he sustained injuries, but nothing serious. And then they found, she could have told the address. It's possible she could have done. But they then found the girl in a cupboard. So it was a bit like, I mentioned Shannon Matthews. It was a little bit like the Shannon. Of course, Shannon was found under the bed, and her mother was in collusion with the kidnapper in that case. But in this case, she was found in a cupboard in the residence, and she was taken to a local hospital and checked over. And from what I can see, she's fine. No, he hasn't hurt the little girl from what anybody said so far, that she seems fine, outwardly fine. Now, whether I would imagine they'll have given her an examination to see if there was any kind of, any kind of a SEX offence, but he has no record of that. He has no record of that, so I don't know. But of course, they're still investigating it, so they don't know all the details yet. I want to put a better picture up. I think we should have a picture of Charlotte up in the background there. Let me just find. So I wasn't going to do a live this morning, but just as I put up the other video about the press conference, and then up popped JLR, so I had to go live just to show you, that he was there. Yeah, let's have a better picture up of her. Have some pictures of Charlotte up in the background, better than what's. There you go. So Charlotte is home, safe, with her family. It's an absolute miracle. It is a miracle because, we know these things don't normally end well, do they? Especially after 48 hours, they don't. So, now, is the guy, it makes you wonder, because the guy's taken this little girl, he's taken a ransom note, he's left a fingerprint on it, he's taken it to the house, which really the police were as far as I can gather, I think the police were there, but it all just happened so quick. He came, dropped it off, and he was gone. And so they linked him with this fingerprint. You know, he's not very clever, is he? Let's say that's sort of a polite way of putting it. So it makes you wonder: is he some sort of fantasist? But I still, you know, I know that the little girl might have told him the address, but it just seems to me a bit too random. You know, that what so was he just driving past? Because that's it. We don't know the details yet of how he actually snatched her. You know, because she'd gone to do that last bicycle ride, which apparently is 4 minutes that would have taken, and that's why the parents worried so quickly. Within 15 minutes, the parents were worrying because that bike ride was only supposed to take 4 minutes, that loop. And so that's why they were so worried so quickly. You know, I just think he's two things. So I think he's not very clever, to be honest. He really isn't. Maybe he thinks he is. He's thinking he's got this, you know, fantastic plan at ransom money. And I don't know. I mean, how much money did he think he was going to get out of Charlotte's parents? I mean, are they rich? You know, how much money does he think an ordinary, if they're, you know, just your average sort of, even if they're quite well off in the sense maybe they're both working and they've got a nice house or whatever, how much money does he think that people can raise? You know, unless somebody's actually rich, you know, how much money was he asking for? We don't know that. We don't know the details yet of the ransom note, how much he was asking for, where he was asking for it to be paid, etc., etc. We don't know any of that, any of the full details. Now, in the press conference, which, as I say, I have just uploaded, let me just make sure it's on there. I'm still half asleep. I'm only halfway through my second coffee, so I'm half asleep, half awake, I should say. Yeah, I've just uploaded the press conference, so you can see for yourself, like the governor's actual words about the circumstances. You know, about what happened. She basically congratulates the law enforcement, you know, for their good work in finding Charlotte, and gives the details of the perpetrator. So 47, this is what she says, a 47-year-old man lives in a mobile home behind his mother's home, and the SWAT team, you know, because all these law enforcement agencies were working together. That's what the Amber Alerts creates, isn't it? That this sort of, you know, they're all working together. You've got the FBI, you've got the not the LAPD, the NYPD, the New York Police, you know, everybody working together. And they broke into his home and apprehended him with a minor struggle, from what they say. He resisted arrest and he has some minor injuries, but nothing special, you know, nothing significant. And they found Charlotte in a cupboard in that address. Anyway, so then the governor just goes on to give not that many details, really, just that Charlotte was then taken to a local hospital, checked over. She's now with her parents. I don't know whether they've gone back to the house or if they've gone back to the campsite. I wouldn't have thought that Charlotte would ever want to go back to that campsite. But the mysteries that remain are, one, did he know them? Did he know the family? How did he snatch Charlotte? Did he see her from the road? Or was he actually, you know, in the park at the time for whatever reason? You know, so there's a lot that we still don't know, but there's a lot that we do know, which is good. Yeah, there's a big controversy, Gojo, about the Amber Alert, that they took too long, because it did strike me, you know, because this all happened around 6 o'clock in the evening on Saturday, obviously American time. But But the Amber Alert wasn't sounded until I think it was 9:25 or 9:30ish the following morning. So, but what the police are saying was they had to search the park first. That they didn't want to sound the Amber Alert until they'd actually searched the park first. So, hi Phyllis, good news this morning, isn't it? Good news. So yeah, I did this that. I sort of woke up in the middle of the night to go to the loo, checked the news and saw that she'd been found. Then people were messaging me, telling me that she'd been found, etc., which was great. And I made a very quick half asleep live from my bedroom. God. But I had to do something, but and I hummed and hawed about getting up and doing, but I knew that it would take a while for the information to sort of filter through. So I could have been sat there for hours waiting for that press conference, and I would have been. So I got to sleep, got up this morning, found the press conference, have posted the press conference. Yes, well, it is, Phyllis, the power of prayer combined with the efforts of course, the police, the law enforcement, and I mean, it is. This will be talked about a lot because this does not happen very often. Normally, when children are snatched, if once they've been gone, well, even longer than a couple of hours, really, but definitely after 48 hours, there's not normally much hope held out for them, is there? So it is a bit of a miracle. But, you know, I don't know about the guy. I think he must be some sort of fantasist to think that he could get away with it. He's like, and then post a ransom note with your own fingerprint on it. He's probably licked the envelope and it's got his DNA on it. Yeah, Riley photobot. Yeah, Riley was the star of the video at 2:00 this morning. But yeah, luckily, you know, well, we don't know for sure. I mean, she was safe and well, but we don't know for sure if he did assault her in any way. We don't know. But she's been checked over and she's out of the, you know, so it can't have, hopefully wasn't nothing too traumatic has happened to her. But because it's traumatic enough, isn't it, to be snatched off your bike and taken off and put in a cupboard or whatever. Yeah, so a lot more to come out about this story, who he was. Yeah, do you know, there was a lot of talk about immigrants. This guy's not an immigrant, but people aren't going to say all Americans are nutters or all Americans are murderers. I don't like this blaming of the immigrants for everything. There are bad immigrants, of course there are. They're bad. You know, it's the same thing happens in the UK. You know, an immigrant commits a crime and it's all over the papers and everything. But, you know, plenty of times it's, you know, Caucasian British people that murder children or do horrible things or, you know, so, but I don't, you know, unfortunately, there's good and bad in every race, every religion, you know. I've made this pledge not to swear on videos, so I'm not going to. But a twonk is a twonk. No matter what religion they are, no matter what colour they are, no matter what race they are, there's twonks in every religion. So I don't like this blaming of immigrants. I'm so glad it wasn't an immigrant because then there would be like this real, you know, hate towards immigrants. So, but he's not an immigrant. He's one of those, is it Craig the second or junior or whatever? So he's Americano. Yes, he did, Phyllis. He left a ransom note. Yeah, it is why their borders go, Joe. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how many borders you have. There's bad people in every community. So you could put a wall around America. You could throw out everyone who wasn't. America's built on immigrants. So everyone in America is descended from an immigrant anyway, apart from the Native Americans. So, you know, but you could put a wall around it now and say, right, never letting anybody else in. You'd still have murders and child abductions and things because it's not exclusive to immigrants. It's not immigrants only who do these things. This guy is not an immigrant. So I don't like, you know, there's been a lot of talk. I've noticed that even JLR, who I love JLR, but, you know, we can't agree on everything. That's how it is. And of course, Elon Musk has got involved in it all, hasn't he? He was over there at the border. I did watch those borders. They do seem to be having open borders at the moment, which is, you know, there's a lot of people flooding in, wasn't there? Yeah, swear box. Oh my God, I would be rich. If I would have had a swear box, I would be rich by now. No, I have made a vow to myself. I'm not swearing anymore on videos. So twonk's quite a good word, but you know what I mean when I say twonk anyway. But yeah, so I have been watching the JLR investigates on the immigrants. I watched the Elon Musk video. It does seem that they're all what I liked about the Elon Musk video, you know, Elon Musk's not my favorite person, but he was interviewing some of the you know, like the sheriff, not the sheriffs, the governors from those areas and what have you, and they were saying that, you know, it's not a political thing. It's like, it's just this administration at the moment in America. It is open borders, isn't it? So it's anyway, and it's seeing the queues of them coming. You know, that's too many people. But of course, America is a huge country. Yes, I'm ignoring the trolls as well at the moment. I'm ignoring the trolls. I only get trolled when I do anything about Nicola Bulley. There's something about the Nicola, but you know, it just makes you wonder what's wrong. Why is that so? Why do people get so nasty? Yeah. Oh no, once someone's been convicted of anything, they shouldn't be allowed to travel outside their own country. I'm surprised that they are, because normally if you've got conviction, they stop you at the border in Spain. I mean, if you've got any sort of criminal, you know, even, how can I explain it? You know, less serious things. If it flags up on the computer, yeah. Well, I try and avoid the question of immigration, because I think immigrants are used as what's the word? A distraction a lot. Certainly, you know, in the UK, sometimes to detract from what's really going on in these countries. You know, Britain goes on about it all the time, but you know, there's illegal immigrants, but there is no legal route to go into England. But anyway, we won't go into this into that argument, because we're having a good morning this morning, because Charlotte is safe. And yeah, I agree with you, Phyllis. Charlotte is safe and well. The suspect has been apprehended. There'll be more, obviously, will come out about him. The governor did say she wasn't going to, there probably would not be another, what's the word, another press conference today. So we may not find out any more today. But what we've got to look forward to today is JLR is there. So we'll get lots of interesting footage, I would imagine, from the site. As soon as it gets light and they open the park, he'll be in there. I've got classes this morning, but this afternoon, if there's anything going on, I'll be back. Yeah, it is such good news. So we're going to focus on the positive this morning. Very good news. She's been found safe and well, and the guy has been apprehended. You know, he doesn't, let's put it this way, doesn't seem like he's the you know, some ace criminal or whatever. This guy left his own fingerprint on the ransom note, so it makes you wonder, where's his head? You know, like he's not exactly you know, master criminal to do that. Luckily, I mean, thank God for that. So let's hope that he's just some sort of fantasist, thought if for whatever reason he might be able to get some money and wasn't interested in Charlotte in another way, which would have been even more it's traumatic enough what's happened to her. Well, Gojo, nobody said you were a troll. Nobody said you were a troll. I think I'm going to have to remove you because you're ruining my lovely video this morning. This is a nice positive video, so we don't want any negative comments. Okay, so I'll see you all later, and remember to always live and love very carefully until I see you again. May your God always go with you, as Charlotte's God went with her. Thank hallelujah and thank God. Bye.